The courtroom smelled like old paper and confidence. His confidence. My husband sat straight-backed beside his lawyer, jaw set, wearing the same tailored suit I bought him after his first promotion, the one he swore was our victory. His mistress perched behind him, manicured hand resting possessively on his shoulder, like she'd already claimed the spoils. His mother sat one row back, lips curled in a practiced smile of approval. I stood alone. "You'll never touch my money again," he said loudly, not to me, but to the room, a performance. His mistress leaned forward. "That's right, sweetheart." His mother nodded. "She doesn't deserve a cent." I didn't react. I'd learned early that silence unnerved people who rely on noise. The judge adjusted his glasses. "Mrs. Hale," he said, finally looking at me, "you submitted a letter." I nodded and slid the envelope forward. My hands were steady. That mattered. He opened it, scanned the first page. Then he laughed, not politely, not quietly, a real laugh. "Oh," he said, lowering his voice, eyes bright with interest, "this is good." That was the moment their confidence cracked. I used to believe in shared futures. I believed in him. We met young, hungry, broke. I edited his resumes. I rehearsed his presentations with him at midnight. I covered rent when his startup nearly collapsed. I signed papers I didn't fully read because he said, "Trust me," and I did. I married his ambition before I married him. The betrayal wasn't sudden. It never is. It was a slow leak. Late nights, new passwords, a phone turned face down, his mother's voice sharpening every time she spoke to me, like she was preparing him for a life without me. The confirmation came quietly. A hotel receipt fell from his jacket pocket when I went to do the laundry. One room, 2 glasses of wine, a name I didn't recognize, but his mother did. She'd mentioned her at dinner once. A nice girl, very supportive. I cried that night. Just once, then I stopped. Pain is loud, planning is silent. I didn't confront him, I watched. I copied emails, screenshotted messages, pulled bank statements he didn't know I could access. I learned about the shell accounts, the consulting fees that weren't fees, the intellectual property he claimed as his own, built on frameworks I designed during unpaid weekends. I met with a lawyer under a different name, then another, then a forensic accountant. They all said the same thing. "You're smarter than he thinks." That helped. I remembered the documents he had me sign years ago, operating agreements, trusts, amendments. I'd asked questions then. He'd brushed them off, but I'd kept copies. Always keep copies. I found the clause he forgot, the one triggered by marital misconduct, the one that transferred controlling interest into a neutral trust if infidelity endangered company stability. He thought it was boilerplate. It wasn't. I waited. When he filed for divorce, he was generous with cruelty. His lawyer's tone dripped with certainty. They assumed I was emotional, unprepared, dependent. They were right about one thing. I was prepared. I submitted my response without theatrics. No accusations, no demands, just facts, and a letter. Back in the courtroom, the judge turned the page. His smile faded into something sharper, focused. My husband leaned forward. "Your Honor, I don't see how—" "Sit," the judge said calmly, without looking at him. That silence hit harder than any gavel. The mistress's hand slipped from his shoulder. The judge cleared his throat. "This letter outlines, with documentation, a transfer of 76% ownership into the Hale Retirement Trust, dated 18 months ago, triggered under Section 14B. My husband's face drained of color. "That trust," the judge continued, "names Mrs. Hale as sole voting authority." His mother stood up. "That's impossible!" "Sit," the judge said again, firmer this time. I met my husband's eyes for the first time that day. He searched my face like he was looking for the woman he married. She wasn't there. The fallout was surgical. assets frozen, accounts audited. The company board convened an emergency meeting that afternoon. His lawyer whispered urgently into his ear. The mistress backed away, already calculating her exit. His mother stared at me with something close to fear. The judge folded the letter carefully. "Mrs. Hale," he said, "given these findings, spousal support, asset division, and damages will be recalculated substantially." He paused. "I suggest," he added, "your counsel prepare for a long afternoon." They didn't look at me when they left. I stayed seated for a moment after the room emptied, not to savor it, to finish it. Revenge isn't loud. It doesn't gloat. It closes doors softly and locks them forever. I didn't take everything, just what was mine, what I built, what I protected while they underestimated me. As I walked out, my phone buzzed. A board member. "We need to talk." I smiled, not because I won, but because I never begged.